All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a sequel. Doing another speed run. I don't know if I've done this before. Actually, I did. When Downpour released, I just streamed that a bunch before I kind of settled into a schedule. But I decided this time for this speed run, I want to try to just kind of grind it out. So another stream on yeah, it's Wednesday. Don't usually do that, but hello everyone. I don't need splits right now. So I decided to start with there we go, there's music. I decided to start with a practice run this time, which I probably should have done last time. So it's probably a good idea to do a practice run first, you know, just to kind of as warm up. Wall echo. So last stream, I learned a lot of things, but I also kind of realized, you know, if I'm gonna go for a world record / sub 28 run, I can't be learning new things all the time. Honestly, you know, there might be you know, time saves that are discovered, some new movement or like a new strategy, you know, something new that I can add to the run that can technically save a few seconds. But the process of learning that new strategy and actually using it in a run, because it's new and I have to like relearn my movement and muscle memory for that section, it's going to be slower for the first few times that I try it out and until I get enough practice in. So I've kind of decided that the strategy that I'm using right now is going to be what I stick with until I like finish with this run. Also, I have karma requirements turned off. This is like the same rule set that I have for other practice runs. Okay, I really hope let me try this again. You really need to jump as late as possible on those platforms. But I am going to add like some new movement to this run compared to what I was going for last stream. Just because of how many like routing changes there were all of a sudden, I decided that I really need to figure out just one good option and then just stick with that. So you'll see that most in shaded and a bit of shoreline too. Why do they call it oven when you oven the cold food? The cold food of out hot eat the food? That's a good question. Technically do a fast pole climb there and it would save a decent amount of time. And by decent, I mean probably less than a second. And yeah, my final strategy does not include plank. If I get that, it's only like 3 seconds slower than a plank, which is worth. It's worth it compared to how often I mess up the plank. So I'm just not going to go for it. And even if you do the plank correctly, okay, it's a very good chance that you are still slower if you like don't execute correctly after that. The plank is just like half of the movement there. I mean, it's pretty short. I think it's just like a meme, but it's like mostly just the text, so it's like easy to comment around. I don't know. I don't know what the definition is. But that was in the AI Pounce. Also, I'm still carrying this Batfly for no reason. What is this song playing? I think this is Outer Expanse. It sounds like Outer Expanse. I don't know where that definition is from, but I think a block of text is part of it. Like usually it's like very long, like a paragraph, kind of. Wow, why is this the first thing we talk about? Oops. Sky Island's music. Oh, they ran away from me. Now, I did add a few songs to the playlist. So, I mean, you have to be a specific kind of person to notice a new song that wasn't on the playlist before. Oh man. This room is still very difficult. I haven't got it completely consistent. I guess you can do this to save yourself. Oh, hold up, I can't do that. What's happened so far? I literally just started. This is a practice run, so I have creatures disabled and karma requirements disabled to make it easier to practice. I'm just basically doing a quick run to kind of as like a warm-up for the movement and stuff. After this run, I'll go into real attempts again. Else one. We'll see. Did it already play once? I think that's the song that plays in the depths, right? That might have already played at the very start. Oh, the Sky Islands echo? Else one. I don't know, man. They all the song names are like the same, like Else 1 to like 5 or something. I know the song that plays in the depths, which also some echo uses that song, and the song that plays for the farm raised echo is memorable. I don't know if I would be able to name the others on the top of my head. The one for undergrowth is memorable. But yes, it is lovely ARPs. The song that plays in Sky Islands. We were just listening to the other one, or just like a few minutes ago. I can actually go back and check. This song. I don't want to play this again. Oh no, minor time loss. This is Artificer's song. Not exclusive to Artificer. It just plays in that one part of Garbage Waste, which also happens to be exactly where Artificer starts. So don't jump there. Jumping is a bad idea. Oh man, I really don't like this room in 0G. It's just moving on the vines is really awkward. Let's try to be precise. Thought the stream notification was too good to be true. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. On Wednesday, not something I usually do, but I want to focus on this one category, this one speedrun. Oops, don't do that. Yep, the connection from Garbage Waste to Shaded, where this song plays. Probably like one of the most memorable songs for Downpour. If you start with Artificer, this is the first song that plays. For Downpour as a whole. Oh, this is not good. Hold up, that was strategic. I jumped just slowly enough to eat the neuron. Okay, sure, the first song that plays is the threat theme for like 2 seconds, right? In a room of dead scavengers. You need to learn that wall pounce tech. Well, it's especially good for Rivulet, so if you're playing other characters, it's only lightly useful. It's still kind of cool to learn, though. Also, hello everyone who has joined recently. Welcome to the stream. Specifically the Riv one. It's crazy how much depth there is in just wall pounces alone. I mean, for most of this game's movement, a good chunk of it is completely useless and impractical. But sometimes it is. There's like one variant of the wall pounce where you do a turnaround, and then you press down before hitting the wall, and it gives you a wall pounce at a specific angle, and it's useful in one room in this whole run. Yeah, this sounds like Subterranean. For some reason, I always get Subterranean and Shaded songs mixed up. But this part of the song is more recognizable as Subterranean. This is one type of wall pounce. You just jump into a wall, press down, and then jump. Looks at the input display. This is probably like the most practical version because it's so easy to do. It's like just like a regular wall jump. There's a ton of rooms in like chimney and the gutter that use that wall pounce. There's a few other types, like if you slide into a corner and then jump, that's a like corner wall pounce. And that's really good for getting you a lot of height, but it's also pretty situational. I'll actually use it in shaded in a really specific spot, which is pretty cool. You could probably do 2 slide bounces right there. Oops, I've never done that before. Maybe I should do that. It might be more consistent, actually. Thumbnail spot. Moving too fast there. Let me try that again. I don't know if a backflip is good there because you just hit your head on the ceiling. You aren't a real Rivulet player unless you memorize all the song locations to the exact like trigger zone. Wow, thought that might happen. I'm surprised I didn't die though. The whiplash climb. I'm curious when. Okay, so there's a way using whiplashes to just climb walls infinitely, as Rivulet. Actually, as all characters, I think. And I only discovered it recently, but I'm curious, when was that known? Not quite infinitely. I mean, I don't really have many infinite walls to test it out on. 8 or so. Well, that's like plenty, at least for Rivulet. That's like plenty to get up like most rooms in the game. But it only works on a wall that's like perfectly flat. It's like, well, I mean, I'm sure you could do it in like other walls, but you'd have to like figure out a specific place to do it. From the first month of Downpour. I'm very behind on movement tech, unless what's relevant to, except for what's relevant to speedruns. Oh, loud song. Yeah, no creatures for now. This is a practice run. You know, it might be a good idea to put up something on the screen that says like, this is a practice run. I don't really like when that happens. Maybe I should just not hold directly to the left. Lack of splits. Well, sometimes I don't use splits in real speedruns too, so. Wall pounce 1. Wall pounce 2. I'm not very good at this room at all. I need to remember like how to line up to land on that hole. I think it's kind of strange that the movement is kind of disconnected from speedrunning. I mean, obviously, some amount of movement, like AI hops, for example, is very relevant for speedrunning. Depending on who you ask. But some movement I discovered way after, like, movement people figure out about it. Even if it would be useful for the speedruns that I'm doing. I should be able to make this cycle here. Yeah. Oh, shoot, I don't have the cell for this room, though. Which means it's a little bit slower. But at this point, it's not even worth turning the cell on because it just slows you down. Movement is good, speedrunning is should. I mean, I haven't heard of that, but... But so much, like, movement tech is, like, pretty impractical to use in a speedrun. I really like the discussions where it's like, in this one speedrun, in this one room, this is the movement that you can do, that is the fastest way to do this room. I like that kind of discussion. It feels like every speedrun is like a puzzle, and by figuring out the optimal movement, you're like solving it, like room by room. Oh, is this the same song? No, this is a different one. But most speedruns don't really go like room by room with like the optimal movement. It's just not really a thing. I feel like I discovered the wall pounces that are relevant for Rivulet speedruns, like, way later than they were discovered, probably, right? I knew that you could, like, slide into a wall and do a wall pounce, or slide into a corner. I knew that wall pounce was pretty useful. I knew that you could pounce into a wall and do a wall pounce, but the pounce took too long to set up. I thought that it wasn't really practical. And then one day I just found out that you can jump into a wall, press down and jump, and then it does a wall pounce. It's like, when was that discovered? That seems very useful. And it was. It's like... Yeah, this is the wall echo. That actually does work really well. So I was told that you can press up the moment the camera transitions and you'll grab onto the pole, and that seems to work out. Dead fish moment. Jetfish in this room can actually lose you a crazy amount of time if they just get in the way and never want to move. Oh no, my very consistent strategy did not work. Hello? By the way, it's faster to do backflip there. I just don't do it because it's annoying. And I'm stuck with it. Hold up, let's just try this whole room. Starting from here. I dropped the cell. You can do a jump out of the water there, but it's difficult. That's your name. Let's go. If this was on total, like, 2D platformer enemy. Yep, just going back and forth. I really don't like this room. Can't see which way you're going. So you might be going backwards, but you can't tell. I guess if you like are familiar with how fast you move. By the way, the eel lizard can be in this room. And actually the next room too. They can go wherever they want. I've seen an eel lizard like right next to this. Don't like how close you get to drowning. I don't like how the game likes to crash right here. I think it crashed. Great time to join the stream. Welcome. Let me reset the game. I sure hope that doesn't happen. No, this crash resets the run. It doesn't matter right now because I have karma requirements disabled. But your karma level goes down when the game does this, when you have to exit out because of the infinite loading. And even if you have a karma flower, your karma will go down to level 4, which isn't enough to get through the next karma gate. So you basically need to spend like 30, 40 seconds getting food and sheltering to get your karma back up, and that's like such a huge time loss. Nope, got the bad one. How can you control if you get the bad or good wall pounce? I have no idea. I plunked into the wall. You're learning how to speedrun Rivulet? That's very cool. There's not many Rivulet speedrunners. But also good luck. This is a very difficult run. But I mean, okay. It depends on what you're going for. You actually have like realistic goals. It's not that bad. If you're doing what I am, then it is very difficult. That's wonderful. Could have done something there. They require a lot of run-specific tech. I think that's a good thing, right? I mean, it is a barrier of entry, right? Like, oh, I can't do the speedrun because I don't know the tech, right? But also, it kind of makes the run a lot more exciting, right? Because there's a lot more things to learn. It's not just like play the game normally but fast. It's like, oh, you need to learn these like unique and interesting strategies that is it only happens in this run. Actually, not just this run. Other Rivulet runs too might involve the same tech, but I haven't really looked into most of them. By the way, multiple times in this run, I would make a mistake and then use dev tools to teleport myself back to the start of the room to retry it. So, but also add 17 seconds to this time because I didn't karma cache, and that adds 17 seconds roughly. I heard that actually another reason that that this run is unpopular is because of the very beginning of the run. Having to. So if you decide to just try out internet, that's on your side. Well, I hope it's not on your side, but I hope it's also not on my side. That's what I'm saying. Is it buffering? OBS seems fine. I think my internet is okay. Maybe reset the stream if it's having problems. Oh, hello. Welcome to YouTube. See, it is useful. If one stream breaks, you can go to the other. It is only over on Twitch. I think I'm gonna get into real runs now. But yeah, the very beginning of the run is probably the worst part. You start in drainage system, you get bullied by snails and scavengers maybe, and then you karma cache for 2 minutes. So you spend 2 minutes doing nothing. You leave drainage system and then you get killed by lizards, and it's like, well, time to do that again. So I don't know how flexible the rules are for speedruns. I don't know if I could just go and say like, hey, it would be cool if we could turn off karma requirements for this one run in particular. But it probably would make more people want to run it. But also, I kind of just assumed that Riv speedruns would be more popular because Riv is a fast character. I've seen some people play Riv and they're like, wow, the speedrun of this is probably gonna look crazy, right? Like I think a speedrun of this character is kind of inherently interesting, but not many people try it anyway. Or I guess maybe the people who would actually be able to do speedruns know how actually difficult it is. And then people who think that the speedrun seems interesting don't want to actually commit to it. I kind of had an idea where you could turn off karma requirements as long as you do the run deathless. I don't know how this would actually work in practice, because there could be situations where, I mean, well, not karma caching saves at a decent amount of time, and even more like real time. Or it loses you time, if I didn't say that. But like if you do a run deathless, then karma is irrelevant, right? Because the only situation that karma is relevant in speedruns is if you die somewhere deep into the run and you no longer able to get through karma gates, right? That is where karma can mess with the run later on, and I think that's like intentional. That's like what karma is supposed to do. So that situation is fine, but in every other situation, if you do the run deathless, you would reset anyway if you die, right? So it just means that you have to waste a few minutes at the start of the run doing this just to get past the first gate of the run. And some runs don't have karma catching at all, and they're great. Like, Saint is actually really fun to start. I can't say for the rest of the run if it's also fun, but at least like resetting Saint runs isn't the worst, because there's a lot of movement in Sky Islands. It's like actually a pretty interesting start to the run, and there's no like downtime at all. One cycle chimney is too hard. Actually, you can just take a shelter. Like, you don't need to do it in one cycle. And taking a shelter only loses a small amount of time. And if you aren't going for a super competitive time, then that really doesn't matter. You can take a shelter anyway. Because if you take a slower path, you're still going to have to take a shelter at some point, right? So you might as well take a shelter on the fastest path you can. Oh, hello, fellows. Maybe you don't want to murder me. They wanted to murder me. Hunter story percent. That's a very popular category, isn't it? Well, very popular as in like 3 people running it, but like that's a lot. Actually, I think it is more than 3, but Hunter's popular. I'm not sure why. I mean, I haven't really tried the run myself, but I think of Hunter speedruns and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to deal with creatures. Yeah, I guess another fix to it would be if you just start with maximum karma. So you wouldn't have the karma catch, but then if you die, then you would need to worry about if you have enough karma to get through a gate. Ah yes, I'm going to eat this Brock. Oh, is that why Hunter's 40% was the thing? I think I saw that race, actually. So people kind of got more interested in that run. I'd also like to point out that in the Rivulet story percent run, if you start with max karma, you would be able to immediately go up into the gutter. You would never have to come down here to the shelter, which would probably save like even more time than just turning off karma requirements. Well, actually, that would be the same thing. But even when I turn off karma requirements, I still go down here for the practice, right? Because there's some movement here. So I'm used to always coming down here. But yeah, that would probably be helpful, just to be able to go up. And you would never even run into scavengers. Like, that's a double win. No karma catching, no scavengers, no snails. Well, there's still snails, actually. I think that, if changing the rules... Well, actually, okay, so the thing I'm worried about for the karma requirements thing, or I guess open gates, so what some people call it. But, if I say that, okay, for this run, let's have no karma requirements, right? Because it sucks to have to karma catch at the start of the run. Then it's like, well, why just this category, you know? Why not turn off karma requirements for all categories? And maybe some people would want that, but I'm not really sure how that would affect other runs. I know that there's definitely people who are against just turning off karma requirements for like all speedruns. Alright, see ya. Thanks for stopping by. Did I tell this ID to anyone? No. This is part of why I like streaming. I don't really like talking in Discord servers. Worst case, they say no. Whoops. Whoops. Okay, I actually suck at that. I don't know why. Looks like that backup strat actually kind of works pretty well. Literally the whole point of the submerged superstructure echo is just to be like, congratulations, you got here. So that's what the echo says. It's like, wow, good job, you made it here? That's crazy. And he says nothing else. And since you already need max karma to get there, like, there really is no reason. But it's cool that they added it anyway. Oh, hello. That was a pretty slow room. Whoops. Whoops. I'm throwing it away. Goodbye. And it's funny because usually the echoes don't really talk to you. They kind of just talk about something. That's kind of how I feel about the echoes. But this one in particular, and that one and the Metropolis echo, they're like specifically saying something to you. What's this song again? Dev's talking to the player. Okay, ever since I got used to the new strat and drainage system, I've been saving like 3 or 4 seconds. More consistently, at least. I'd probably also have to calculate the time save of not like having to karma cache or like come down here at all. It depends on how it would be done, but just knowing how much time it saves just by changing the rules so that, you know, so you could break world record pretty easily. Well, I mean, you could save a lot of time easily, but you'd have to account for it because of the new strategy. The world record is already pretty easy to beat. Thank you. Really went slug mode right there. That would have been even better without the scavengers in the way. Where does the submerged echo even come from? Where do all the echoes even come from? Like the echo that's usually at the top of the wall, they move down like, to the leg. Like, they move to the other side of pebbles. Like, how do the echoes move? Because they never move. Like none of the other ones move at all. Yeah, I know what the echoes are. And I assume that the location they're in kind of depends on perhaps what areas that echo or that ancient was attached to. I clearly missed that, but whatever. Okay, the game said no. Every time we talk about like Ascension, the Void Sea music comes on. Trying to check who's the plumber. They lived a simple life, and they didn't want to leave it behind. Whoops. Okay, I'm just kind of annoyed. How does the play the snow? Yeah, it is kind of strange that the echoes appear though, because we're pretty sure that all the ancients are gone, right? It's not like there's any new ones ascending, which means that we should have always been able to find one in Granny's system, right? Or maybe they're just like more well hidden, and it's just something about Saint that lets them see echoes better. This is a very good song. Wandering Cut. It's another Outer Expanse song, or maybe like Sunken Pier. I kind of realized that walking into a room that would probably have scavengers in it with the spear, it's probably not a good idea. Please. This is very good. Yep. I feel like I've been getting these kind of times more consistently than before. Also, yeah, the Metropolis Echo, they actually have a lot of dialogue. It's like before and after killing the chieftain, and then also dialogue for like Survivor. I think there's new dialogue, right? It wouldn't make sense to say those things to Survivor. The same things that they say to Artificer. Which is funny because they don't have unique dialogue for... Like, all the other Echoes have no dialogue changes depending on what character you are, except for Saint. I've never seen that before. Okay. Large centipede jump scare. I know there's a centipede, in like one room that's close to that. I guess they fell down. So this is just kind of slow again. Yep. Okay, I've consistently messed up there every single time. Speaking of Metropolis? Oh, you're no fun. Play this to sentient. It would not only have to be listening to what I'm saying and like understanding it, but it would also need to understand Rain World. Oh, they're talking about the Metropolis Echo. That means I must play Lost City, which definitely has an obvious connection to Metropolis. And isn't just some random song in this playlist. Okay, hello. Okay, that's decent. I forgot to pounce. Okay. Okay. There's also some pulls like that in Chimney Canopy. At least one that I'm aware of. There's one, well, okay, I guess that's also in Skylands. Okay, good cycles. I could have gone for it. Gym is nice. Normal gravity. pressure. Going too fast. It's a late time to activate the refraction song. This is a nice song. No pressure. Oh wow. Every single tentacle was on that one platform. I'm dead. I don't know why that didn't work. Or did the same thing I always do. Maybe the collision with the tentacles kind of slowed me down. That's, I don't know. So usually you actually end up hanging onto the wall much higher up. Do it again. Kind of how it felt running Artificer. If you have a good start, like, don't get your hopes up because you're probably gonna fail somewhere else. It is actually different for Rivulet because it's actually quite a lot easier. At least like the end game of Rivulet is a lot easier than the end game of Artificer. Maybe it's probably a lot less, or a lot more boring to watch when I'm trying to focus. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but it helps to just focus on the game and not really, say anything else. How are you guys so familiar with like mobile game ads? Like that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to remember the names of these games. We're gonna make ads so bad and annoying that people are gonna remember us just for how bad the ads are. Okay. Whenever you get a good run like that, though, you know that it's now like you can expect to get that run. Keep going. I'm no longer. Oh wow, brute shield. Don't mind me. I need to pick up a bubble fruit though. Ow. Okay. As long as you spam grab, you can pick it up the moment it pops. It usually tries to leave your hand. Still minor time loss though. Yeah, still good, still good. Wasn't this song just playing a while ago? Fortunate. It's your own fault, dude. Actually, not really. He was just standing there, but he got in the way. Should known that I was speedrunning. Turns out that a spider will actually slow you down if you run into it. Okay, not too bad. There's a specific wall pounce in that one room that is way harder than the rest of them because you're next to a pole. If you try to wall pounce when you're next to that pole, you will do a pole hop instead, and it will eat your input for the wall pounce. That's a funny tale. Oh, hello, vulture. Oh, thank you. Oh no, poor loser. Imagine if that vulture was in the tunnel though. Oh wow, that's a time save. Where'd that come from? Science versus zombies. Should I play that on stream sometime? I mean, I don't even know what I would do. It's like, just play the game. Just talk about it. There's still 2 pips on the cycle timer. No, one's going away. So I have 30 seconds left until it rains. That's crazy. Just a little reminder that we used to think that it wouldn't even be possible to make it to the first shelter in Chimney without the max length cycles. And here we are making it all the way to this shelter with 30 seconds remaining. Well, here I am. I'm not sure how many other people wanted to try this. Whoops. Whoops. Oh dear. Mistakes. Creep up on you. You least expect. Oh, come on. I hit my head. Man, I'm really inconsistent at that still. I tried to grab the ceiling. It was too far away. GG. Any tips for Artificer? I'm not very good at Artificer. Or like combat. And I'm not exactly sure what kind of tips to give. Like, it depends on what you struggle with. So if you haven't even played it yet, then just kind of go for it, and based on your experience, you can know what you need to improve on from there. Palms are very fun. Whoops. Okay, that was kind of slow. Man, I don't know if I'll be able to replicate that wall split. Although actually, I have been making mistakes kind of consistently in the wall, so I guess I just need to not do that. Yeah, that's good. Pipe juking scavs works pretty well. If you don't even have a spear, you can wait until one gets close and you can take the spear from them and throw it up straight at them immediately. So just grab, throw, kind of has the same input. So you can go right into shaded or left into garbage waste, except there's a scav hole. If you actually want a little trick for that, you can exit out of the game, like right after the intro cutscene where you get the drone thing, exit out of the game, and then go back in and just run straight to the left, and the scavengers won't be at the toll. You'll still have to deal with all the chaos in garbage wastes after that point, but if you really want to go that way, then that's probably the easiest way, because otherwise you have to fight all the scavengers. Also, if you hold down and do the inputs for a double jump, so grab and jump at the same time, down, grab, jump, you'll do a parry. You basically just explode, and it stuns all the creatures within a certain radius. Yeah, you probably shouldn't go to garbage race anyway, unless you really want to, and you have some sort of specific goal. But the parry move, it stuns everything close to you, so if you're ever in a situation where there's a bunch of scavengers right next to you, then doing a parry is a good way to get them off of you. But it helps right there. Yeah, there's actually very few exceptions though. Like, I think you can even stun like deer, reindeer, vultures. Over 300 attempts. That's better. They're ready to stab me. Okay, that was good. She used the map. I guess, yeah, garbage waste can be a little confusing because the layout is also changed a bit. This is Looks to the Moon song. Plays for Spearmaster. Actually, it might also play in Submerged Superstructure. called random fakes. With the 2 red spiders, I know exactly what that room is. Those 2 red spiders, they just chill there. They never leave that room. But they're still very aggressive. Everybody knows about the double spitter spider room. Ah, good timing. Those creatures barely got in the way. Most of the time you can move fast enough to like just avoid the scavengers, but not if they're in like a horizontal tunnel. Oh wow, that was very good. I should mention, the splits use real time, so the time that it takes for me to menu to like exit out of the game and enter back into the game for karma caching, that does influence this time. So splits are not completely accurate, but still like pretty useful as a tool to help you practice. Because you can know when you're ahead and like which areas you can improve in the most. But it's not like, that's why we use the real the in-game timer for its actual like comparisons. Of course, they jump off like right after I throw the spear, or right before. That's still good. I could use that for throw boosting. Little trampoline right there. Off the centipede. Please don't. Hello. Love when vultures do that. Just hanging out. About 5 seconds, 35 seconds until it rains when I entered that shelter. I love how the rain kind of gives you a reference point of how fast you are, based on how close you are to like getting rained on. If you go from constantly like just barely making it to actually like getting there before it rains, like you know that you've improved. I don't like that grapple orange spot. Time to die in underhang. Oh wow, actually worked. Whoa. All of that was unintentional, but okay. Well, alright. I heard the new Twins theme. I have. I actually don't like it as much as the old music. Actually, I mean, I think it's fine, but Boss 2 only plays for 2 bosses. But now that Twins has a new theme, it only plays for 1 boss. It's like, well, I guess now you could say that it's just, now it's the Wall of Flesh theme, not Boss 2, right? But I think that Boss 2 is very good, and it's also very, like, original. It feels like a classic song, you know? And for being Boss 2, like, Boss 1 is, like, the difficult, or the default, like, boss theme, right? So it's like, any generic boss fight gets Boss 1. And Boss 2 is kind of similar, except it only, now it's only for 1 boss, so it doesn't even really get that. I don't really have anything against the song, though. It's just mostly that Boss 2 is one of my favorite boss themes in the game. I also really like the Twins of the fight, so I kind of got it, like, I made a connection between the theme and the boss. Kind of strange that that isn't a thing now, but I think that they're going to make a lot of new music. Like, they want to make a lot more bosses have unique music instead of just, like, sharing a few themes across them all. There's a new theme for the Twins, yes. Although it's not in the game yet. They're waiting until the next update. This game is still getting updated for some reason. Actually, not for some reason. It's cool that they're updating it, but it's like the 5th last update they've done. Probably more than 5th, actually. Kill the Fishron 32 times and still get a single pair of Fishron wings. I don't think that has anything to do with the song. Actually, I think it does. Because you've spent so long like grinding it that you were just hearing the song constantly. That doesn't mean the song is bad, that just means you listen to it a lot on repeat. You used to like it. I almost overshot that jump. Whoop. Whoop. Oh my gosh. Please. If you're holding a food item, there is a small delay before you can pick items up. I'm pretty sure that in that delay, they're checking if you want to hold down the grab button to eat the food. So they don't let you pick up items until they make sure that you're not trying to eat it. But it just makes it annoying. Suddenly there's a delay that you're not used to. I think I've gotten a lot better at drainage system though. Because there were like in the last stream, there were times where I was slower than my splits, but now I'm pretty much consistently getting at least like 3 seconds ahead of it. I mean, of course, it's still slower if I get slowed down by scavengers. Spider jump. If I was Gourmand, that spider would be dead. But also, I would not land there if I was Gourmand. I would land much further back. Okay, I'm not very good at that wall pounce right there. Hello, white lizard. I didn't even see you. Okay, kind of slow. Continue again. Whoops. What even was that though? Tiny little wall pounce. Oh gosh. Oh dear. Also, hello and welcome to the stream. Thank you, camera, for just not transitioning. I was just standing there, I couldn't see. I tried to pick up a rock and I ended up switching my hands around, so I threw the bats instead of the spear. That's slower. I wish I didn't mess up my wall split because I can't tell if I like when I've gone past my best split. use the slide pounce. Slide pounce is like the simplest thing I do in the run, except for maybe like walking and jumping. Like that's expected. Ow, that was a mistake. That was very obvious that I made a mistake, but I just decided to clarify anyway. I don't know if I've seen a king vulture as Riv. Also, welcome to the stream. Sorry about that. Just doing an extended slide, not trying to kill you. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. Is it really that much slower? It's like 1,000 times easier. Sometimes I try to jump there and I grapple instead. I think that grappling kind of prevents you from buffering stuff. Because normally you would try to jump, and since you're not able to jump, it instead of trying to jump, it buffers it so that when you land, it does let you jump, right? But when you have a grapple worm, instead of buffering a jump, it just immediately grapples. So then when you hit the ground, you don't have a jump buffer. I really shouldn't die there. Oops, I forgot the splits. Slide passing an underhang. It's you need to learn exactly where you should use it. I've kind of gotten used to that. But there are a few slide bounces you can do in underhang that are worth doing. Nice. Generic echo song. This is the depths one, right? Slash chimney echo. I think they share the same theme, right? Yep, Karma Gate. Some developer decided to make the gates from drainage system to chimney canopy require 5 karma. So that means we start the run by doing this. Very fun, very engaging. Every time you reset the run, you do this for 2 minutes. There's a hard region though. I guess that's the point, right? But the gate or the pipe that lets you get there is hidden, right? There's no indicator. So it's kind of already like a hidden region that's like only useful as a shortcut if you know that it's there. So it's not like random players are gonna stumble into the gutter and then be like, oh shoot, I accidentally ended up in an area that's too difficult for me. Remove the start. So actually we were actually just talking about this earlier in the stream, and by just talking I mean like an hour ago. But some people don't want to do the speedrun because of this thing that I'm doing right now, this karma caching. Every single reset is 2 minutes of doing nothing, and it's quite boring. So I'm changing the rules to speed up the start of the run might actually like happen. The gutter is so relevant. It's very relevant in this run. Same thing happened again. I'm not sure what the consistent way to do that is. Just the delay on grabbing the fruit. The scavengers is nice. Let me go to the gutter. Wow, it's just the picture of the path. What would river runs look like without the gutter? Either the garbage waste route. I'm not sure. Like garbage waste to industrial to chimney. I guess you would do that. Or like garbage shaded. Why is this guy doing that? Shaded exterior. I don't think going up the leg would be very fast at all though. It'd be very dangerous too. You might go do outskirts, industrial chimney. It's the Outer Expanse song. Yeah, it doesn't play anywhere else in the game. Adapt, improvise, overcome. That was a lot. Why backflip? Saint's special ability, their jump. The thing they're most well known for. Oh gosh. You're too slow. So it's the fast blue creature. All right. It's basically an expedition with all the overpowered movement abilities. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the challenges that involve being very overpowered because it's not a challenge at all. You would need that plus some other specific goal. Rivulet is so broken. They are. They are incredibly broken. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but I will take advantage of it. Hello. Welcome back. me know. I don't remember seeing you leave a comment before on this particular stream. Okay, we're just doing a completely made-up strategy for this room. And we die here. Okay, old strat. Oh. Okay, that's kind of sloppy. This is where I run into a DLO. Okay, that works. Something's going on in this room. Pump into DLO. That was not a strat. That was a... like, the only option I had. Wait, on the Switch you don't even... you can't even level up? So jank. Okay, interesting cycle here. Yeah, now it's low gravity. Hopefully it changes before I make it to the room after this one. But not like right now. Don't change right now. Okay, now you can change. That's good timing. Oh, you just don't get rewards? Like, what's the point of expeditions then? You don't get any of the, like, perks and stuff. Is this sentient because it's playing a Pebbles song? Please. Okay, can we just do the old strat? We do it very slowly, goodness. Please. I could not get that slide or the wall pounce. Need to be very fast for the rest of this. To make up for it. Whoops. What's that? Please. It's all falling apart. Please. This is very slow. Probably not gonna make this cycle. Oh wow, very close. Okay, yeah, mine is like 10 seconds compared to other runs, but maybe that's not a problem. song is very quiet. You can barely hear it. If I increase the volume of this song, then some other random song is going to be way too loud. Okay. I was so slow that I had the reflection cell on for that room. At least I've made it here. I'm imagining that if you're watching a speedrun, you've probably already played all of Downpour before, or at least you're like aware of it. So I'm like fine with like Saint spoilers and stuff. What's the world record for this run? It is 29:26, I believe, which is my own run. This song is late. We've already left that area. Please. Wonderful spot for DLL. Wait until you see what I do in this room. A nice backflip too. Now imagine after saying that, if I mess it up. Oh wow, that almost was a repeat of last run. That died right there. Goodness. Ooh, that's a nice time save. Liberator, not again. No, don't do that. Wall pounces can still slow you down. Situations like that. But the benefit greatly outweighs the... And eventually you get used to not doing that. But this song is late too. They're waiting, or it should have played when we were talking about expeditions. Oh, have you not played Rivulet? This area is like very different. That should be a good jump. That wasn't a good jump, whatever. Some new strategies in this room I'm going to have to be careful about. Where are these guys going? Okay, that worked out. Don't climb up there. Didn't go to shaded, yeah. So parts of Underhang have collapsed and Memory Crypts is filled with orange lizards and the rot. And there are no longer Murals birds. Whoops, that's slow. Okay, this whole room was kind of slow. Yeah, poor orange lizards. They probably died on the impact, and then they just like recycled back in memory crypts. Please. Get that spider just messed up the cycle. I'm gonna play this next room safe. Do the old strat that loses an entire second. Kind of the reflection cell to come back to me there. By the way, I'm not going to be able to read all of your chat messages. Not even close. And one of the messages is, don't look at the chat. I'm ahead of you. Alright. If I need to focus, I will focus. Whoops. Oh gosh. I'm going down the drain. That sucks, but I never really do this area very fast anyway. It's relevant because I'm comparing against times that I've done before. So if I did that play slow in the past, then, you know, I'm kind of expecting that. Centipede. It's up there. That jetfish is another NPC patrolling the area, going back and forth. Pokemon trainers, be like. Hey, that actually worked out. Yeah, time loss here, but actually, no, it's still time, still time to save, but not best stuff. Look at the chat. Suddenly there's a discussion about wormgrass. Wow. Okay. That didn't work. Neither did that. No jetfish here, that's good. Can wormgrass get the mark? What a question. Can still die here. There's an eel lizard I've yet to see. I think we're safe. Yes, the game didn't crash. That's wonderful. Oh, this is a nice song. That might be the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in a speedrun. Whoops. What was that? I don't know how long this last part takes. My heart is going so fast right now. That's it. That's it. That might be even better than practice runs I've done. I'm checking that right now. I knew where the file was. I'm gonna let this play out until the end. I think this is better. I think this is yeah, it's world record. Of course it is. I have like more than a minute time save on my splits, and those splits were from the world record. But it's more importantly, it's the goal that I wanted to get, that I was going for this whole time, the sub 28. This is 27:51. That's good 9 seconds below. By the time I made it to the gate into Moon, or into Shoreline, I guess, I was just thinking like, don't mess up, you know. I don't need to go too fast. I think I can like take it slow and still make it. Blizzard, yep. Said hi to him. That scavenger. What do you guys think about that? I've never ever seen a scavenger in that one room. It was just one scavenger, and he wanted to throw a spear at me. And obviously, the answer, or the thing I should have done is just throw a spear back. Because it was just that one scavenger, and they were alone in that room. I really didn't want to anger him at all. Luckily, it wasn't that big of a time loss, and I was able to hit most of the AI hops in Bitter Airy, so I think that made a good amount of time saved too. Sometimes there are scavengers a few rooms after that one, but I've never seen scavengers outside of that area. You guys are funny. I'm focusing on the speedrun and you guys are just talking about random stuff. I mean, that's fine. I'm not really saying anything either, so. Yep, that, the iterator that we meet at the end of the, okay, little summary of Rivulet's campaign. The iterators have this thing called the refraction cell that kind of acts as a backup power source, and Pebbles still has a functioning refraction cell, but his structure is falling apart because of the rot, so he tells us to bring the refraction cell over to Moon, and Moon does not have any refraction cells left. They all washed away when her structure collapsed a long time ago. So we bring the refraction cell over to Moon, the second or the last iterator that we meet in this run. And that basically partially revives her. Like, she's still very much collapsed, but she's in better condition with the refraction cell. And that's basically what we do in the speedrun, except we don't even meet Pebbles. Oh, that's nice, flat 100 points. Now, I don't know why the timer says 15 minutes. That was not a 15-minute run. I don't know why would that... Why? What is this timer in here? But there we go. 27:51. This is an improvable time. I made a lot of mistakes still. But luckily, I also integrated a bunch of new strategies just yesterday, so... Counting is hard. That's what computers are supposed to be good at, though. Come on. Wet mouse. If you do if you do everything normally, Pebbles calls you a wet mouse. But I think if you grab the refraction cell first and then you meet Pebbles, he calls you a landfish. There are 2 types of Rivulet. There's actually 3 types. There's also Ruffles. This is a nice song to end on. I guess that's it then. I could keep going with this. Just doing like more runs. Just like keep going, try to perfect everything. This is also good. I said every single time a song plays from this playlist, I'm like, hey, that's a good song. I don't even need to say it though, it's just kind of implied. Like, this is an improvable time. Actually, it says right there, sum of best segments, which is crazy. Hello? Actually, no. This is, the wall split is very inaccurate because I accidentally pressed the split button twice, so it made me think that I got to the wall like instantaneously. So the sum of best segments should be a lot slower than that, but I don't really know how to fix it, so... If I could, I'd go into the splits and remove the mistake that I did. So, I guess that's the end of Rivulet. Only 2 streams. Actually, less than I expected. I was, like, fully prepared to spend the whole week doing this. Just doing this one run to get it perfectly. And this isn't perfect. This is still far from perfect, but... I mean, I can't expect that. However, actually, okay, quick mini announcement. Now that I finished with story percent, for now, I don't think I'm gonna keep doing runs. Unless some like crazy new strats are discovered, but I'm not sure about that. I think I want to move on to Ascension or Pilgrimage percent. And that category is the normal ending, so going to the Void Sea, but getting your karma from echoes. So the run is basically going to a bunch of different echoes and going to the Void Sea. That's Pilgrimage. And Pilgrimage, actually, let me check this real quick. Pilgrimage, maybe let's... The Pilgrimage time is 26:32, which is a little bit more than a minute faster than this run. I never would have imagined that these 2 runs would get even close to each other. But here we are. Getting 26:32 in a story percent run sounds impossible. That's like an entire extra minute of time save. I don't know, maybe it's possible. But I really, like, that was a run that I did 5 months ago. So, like, imagine the improvements I can make with the new, like, skill and knowledge I have of Rivulet. And it's more Rivulet, which is fun. Like, No reason to let this like skill and Rivulet that I've developed go to waste. But anyway, I'm talking too much. I always just have a lot of stuff to say at the end of these. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.